Help Action Needed, a D&D podcast.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Help Action Needed, a D&D podcast. My name is Sean Hardy, and I will be our Dungeon Master for this episode, as true with most episodes. But before we get too far into it, let's let our cast introduce themselves.
Hi, I am Kate Pazurchik-Johnson, and I play Nori.
I'm Dan Johnson, and I play Kess.
I'm Julie Perez, and I play Frog.
Nice. And the last time we left Cass, Frog, and Nori, they were with their good pals, Seph and Alto, the brothers, as well as Dolly O'Toole and Midge, who I do not believe has a canonical last name. If she does, I don't remember it. And they were in a tavern having a fish-eating contest set to cast by Nori, when they found out that there has been a surge in what the tavern keeper called shark people, messing around with the unknown shrine in the middle of the Crescent Isles, and they decided they were going to go take a look for it. There was no agreed-upon pay, no actual benefit of reward mentioned, because it was not a negotiated contract, but hey, something good might come of it. Players, I turn it to you now. You had made it to a pier that had a boat to be sent off to the middle part.
Is there anything else in this town? Like, a shop or a clothing store? Or was it really just the tavern that...
Well, it's a fully structured town. It's just not they have a lot of exports and stuff. They're not going to have the best quality gear or the best quality clothes or stuff, but it does have t-shirt stores or spots to get clothing, grocery stores, stuff like that.
Can I go real quick before we head out on the boat? Just to go take a look at their their magic or potion shop, just to see what they have.
They do not have a magic and potion shop here.
Okay, that's what I was meaning. Sorry, I should have been more specific, but no. Okay, that works. Never mind. I'm good. Everyone else is.
Cool.
Yeah, should we get on the boat?
Yeah, let's get on the boat. Woohoo!
You make your way to the boat, and Dolly immediately tries to take charge. This is a small rowboat for maybe 12 people, not at all a pirate ship, but she looks around and is like, "Aye, you two seem strong enough. You can row, and Frog, you can be our lookout, and Midge, you can do what you do, and the other two can recover from that fish nonsense. We should be across the strait in a matter of moments."
Right, Nori will go and sit down at one end and take the paddle and look at Cass and be like, "All right, Cass, I'm ready," hoping that Dolly was meaning her and Cass.
Not at all, the two of you. She said that to the brothers, and then you two are can recover from the fish situation.
Oh, okay. Nori will then look at everyone, realizing the social implications that she was not correct in reading, and head to the back and just relax and put her head between her legs, so that way she doesn't try and on the boat.
Frog will go up towards the front of the boat to be the lookout.
Nice. Cass, you just hanging?
Just hanging. Try not to throw up.
Yeah. Frog, can you make me a perception check, please? Not investigation, just perception.
Perception. $16.
Cool. That's higher than a 4. You see that as you're going across the strait, really out of character for what you would imagine this depth to be able to do, not even slowly, but rather quickly gliding towards you is the fin of what you'd imagine is a shark.
Shark people. Okay. Frog would turn to the rest of the members on the boat and point at it and be like, "There's a fin."
Nori will pop up and say, "What?" and try and locate the shark fin as well.
Yeah, roll a perception check with advantage from Frog pointing. It still only got a 4 on its stealth check, so.
Okay. Okay. 12 plus 19.
Yeah, you see it very easily. And Frog, if you want to try and deem anything else about it now that you know where it's at, you can like try and investigate, try and perceive, do something, or you can magic about it. But if that's something you wanted to do.
Can I see what I know about these shark creatures?
Yeah, go ahead and roll history.
Okay. $26.
26, nice. From the like written history of like the people and creatures of the world, these shark people are not something that you come across often. Know that there are reports and records of them over in the Sunken Cove, but more as like guardian spirits and not as actual like creatures that live here. They seem to be summoned by like chaotic or evil oceanic spirits for some purpose or another. The other thing you'd get on that history check is that this is not a shark person coming at you. This is a full-ass shark.
That's good. Okay. Yeah, I would share that with the rest of the group and be like, excuse me, but this is like a legitimate shark and maybe we should be concerned.
Nori would look at everyone in the boat and ask, does anyone have the ability to talk to animals? Would that be helpful in this situation? No one has the ability. We can't talk to animals.
As Nori is trying to figure out a plan of action, Cass looks at Dolly. Is she concerned at this point, or?
She seems like not concerned. She seems excited. She seems like she gets to have a lot of fun, but she doesn't seem to be scared.
Frog may speak with animals if that is what we would like. I'm assuming that is a yes.
It's just an option as compared to trying to kill shark, because sharks are friendly folk that we want to keep around. Sharks are great. Yeah.
Is Nori saying it like in that tone?
No.
Okay. Because if Nori's saying sharks are great, we should keep them around, Dolly's going to respond to it. Just wasn't sure if it's in that tone or if it's like what Nori's doing. So what does Nori actually do?
Nori would actually say, or actually mean, sharks are wonderful. We maybe don't want to enter into combat with one right away, so we can just kind of see what's up if you're willing to talk to them, Frog.
Yeah, Frog will cast Speak with Animals. And I guess introduce herself to the shark and be like, hello, over there. What are you doing here?
Okay. Nothing about they need to have an intelligence of a certain number?
No, it just says they may be limited.
Okay. The shark has an intelligence of 1.
What?
The shark has an intelligence of 1.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. So, what do you say? You introduce yourself, but what do you say to introduce yourself?
Say hello over there. What are you doing over here? Do you need anything?
You hear it back and just going, chomp, 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 bite, rage.
Oh, okay. So he's not just like here for fun. He's hungry, maybe? Or okay. I will inform the others that the shark says chomp, 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 bite. rage.
Thank you for communicating the entire message to the shark. We want to make sure that sharks are correctly represented here.
Yes, I did. And then I will suggest that we maybe toss it a little something to eat in the hopes that either it says, "Oh, that was nice," and likes us, or maybe it will make it want to eat us. Who knows?
How choppy is the water right now?
Right now, it's rather smooth. Like, you're not, like, out on the open ocean. You're in that, like, that strait that goes around the center aisle.
Do we know if shark people and sharks are...
Connected?
Yeah.
You would know on that history check you rolled about them being, like, spiritual things, that they are able to communicate with sharks and that they can also summon some.
Okay. And do sharks tend to like the shark people, or are they...
That's not really, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hmm.
Well, theoretically, if we end up having to fight this shark later because it is friends with the shark people, we might want to attempt to at least get it on our good side. So maybe we can feed it something. Does anyone have anything that we could give it? Not raw meat, I assume, but...
I mean, I just have my, like, standard
Rations.
meals.
Yeah, same. Okay, I will share some of my rations with this shark.
Nice. Can you make me... Well, you're trying to throw it in, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it and be like, here's some food for you if you are hungry.
Yeah, make me a dex check to see how far you can throw it.
Okay.
You want to beat a 10.
Okay, well, I rolled a 14 without my...
Okay, great. Then yeah, all of you, please make me a dex saving throw at advantage.
Oh, no.
At advantage is good.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the good one, Julie.
Yeah. Nice. 20.
Beautiful.
18.
20.
Beautiful. All of you do a wonderful job. So does Midge. So does Dolly. So does Alto. Seph, however, is on the side where the shark turns, and with just the amount of water, gets capsized a bit and falls in. The shark has an intelligence of 1, as we have said. We'll see if it notices a new body entering the water. It does not. It rolled a 2 with a -5. So, the shark is frenzied by your rations and is nom-nom-nomming them. Does not notice Seph, giving him a moment to get back in the boat. But now the shark, I mean, it seems pleased, but it also kind of seems to think, oh, this is a resource spot for food. So, not sure if you all want to start going faster, if there's anything else you might do. What would be happening?
Do we see any
Nori,
other
what-
sharks in the area?
Not in like your immediate perception area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Nori would jump on one of the paddles and say, Cass, come on, let's help him. And try and help the boat chug a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Alright, Frog will take another one of her rations and throw it as far as humanly possible behind, as far as fling possible. As far as she can behind the boat.
Okay. And you are welcome to roll. You could also ask Dolly to throw it for you.
Okay, I will give it to Dolly.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know how much you check Frog's ability, but you know that Dolly is very dexterous and has a good aim. So,
Yeah.
yeah, she got a nat 20 on her dex throw. So that is like, not is it just far behind the boat, it's far behind the boat against the current in a way that it's going to be dragged away, and that shark is going to head out.
Okay.
Nice. You all are
Hey.
safe. It takes about 5 more minutes to get across to the sandbar, but you all make it without incident. Probably a little stressed, but when you get there, you see it's mostly a desolate sandbar. Like, there are huts and things that people will stay in. Seems to be more of like they'll come out for the night and stay on here, or like some research tents from the past that seem to be trying to investigate what this like shrine in the middle is. The shrine itself is just like above ground, just it looks like it's made out of like coral and shells and sandstone, and it just looks like it came directly from the bottom of the ocean and washed up here in the middle of a circle, which probably not how it happened, but that's kind of what it looks like. And then you do see just like a couple of people laying, these shark people, laying on like the sand around it, seemingly waiting for someone to try and approach. They don't look like they're actively like looking for anyone. They just kind of seem like they're waiting. And Cass, your lantern would start to be emitting not like heat, but like pulses of energy as you get close to this shrine.
Understood. And as we get close, like how far away roughly did you say we were from this area at this point?
You're like 100 feet from like the middle, which is where the stuff is.
Okay, so are we at all concealed, or like can they see us if they just look this direction?
Same thing how it's a flat sandbank and they can see you if you look at them. You could try and like stealth, or you could try and hide, but there's not a lot to hide around.
Okay. And just from how they're laying, can we like determine, are they trying to keep people away from it, or are they just here to be here type situation?
Yeah, I think that it's not so much how they're laying, but just like the general vibe is that like they're here trying to defend this place. But like, so you can tell like the way that they're laying, it's not like, oh, it'll take a while to get up. They can quickly hop up and be ready to go. But like they're trying to prevent people from accessing it, not so much here to like attack people.
Understood.
Unless people tried to access it.
Okay. With that, just gonna turn, look at the group, be like, okay, so we have a couple options. We can just go in guns blazing, or maybe they can talk. I don't know, but I feel like I need to get to the shrine at this point.
Okay, so we gotta get to the shrine, but we don't want to go in guns a-blazing. Maybe. Though guns a-blazing would be a little bit fun. So, maybe we can try and shout to them and say hi? Unless... Yeah. Well, first Nori will turn to Dolly and ask, have you encountered any of these creatures or people before, or is this all new to you?
I am not often up in the frozen wastes where these people would be from based on Miss Frog's report, and I've heard stories of them, and I've heard that they're quite vicious, but I've never had to take them down myself. I don't know why we've gone English, but we are not Dolly anymore, but I'm not changing it.
Okay, solid. And we're also assuming that these are, like, humanoid creatures within reason, so, like, for instance, Frog wouldn't need to talk with animals with them.
Yes, yeah, they definitely present as humanoid.
Okay, maybe we get within 40 feet, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet, however long we can still stay in the boat to where they're at and try and
talk. The boat
talk
has to pull up onto the sandbar.
Oh.
Yeah, you'd be emerging on foot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we try and shout to them from the sandbar.
Yeah.
And see what happens, and unless anyone else has a different plan.
And I think that would probably be our best plan. So they're all around where the shrine would be, right? Like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Like, they've like formed like a protective ring around it. There's probably like 20 of them.
Okay. Yeah, we could probably move a little closer and then shout from there.
Yeah. And what do you shout?
Cass, you're the one that feels like you need to get to that shrine, so I think you should take it.
Okay. Cass will just sort of lead, making sure that everyone's sort of following, and just slowly approach cautiously. Putting the lantern behind him. So it's like on his waist still, but it's like behind him more. And just approach and ask, what are you guys doing here?
In what language?
Common.
They hear you and they look at you, but they do not seem to recognize anything you're saying. And you see, like, just as you're approaching, a couple of them ready spears just to be held.
Let's turn back to the group, be like, I don't think they understand common. Just off the top. Does anyone have any other language that we could potentially get?
I really don't think that they speak Sylvan. So, I don't think that I would be of any help. But let me see. Let me just do a quick little check of my magic today.
And while you're all trying to figure that out, you hear them start talking to each other in like a very like low murmury language. It kind of sounds like it's underwater and being communicated that way. That Cassiud ping is like not Aquan, but that's probably the closest language you would know of to what they're speaking in.
I relay that to the group, being like, hey, like, it sounds familiar to Aquan. Does anyone have any ability to speak that by chance? Sort of looking at Dolly specifically, since she's on the water all the time.
I do not speak shark people, no.
Apprehensively, I'm going to look at Midge and be like, eh?
I don't speak their language, but I'd be happy to go make an official introduction.
Nope.
Midge, no.
Thank you, though. Thank
Even
you.
with
Greatly
all three of you
appreciate
said no, really hinders the whole building of relationships we had earlier today, where you all said a lot of nice things and made me feel supported, and then we're kind of right back to the whole I no longer think you really believe in me, but it's okay.
Midge, we'll talk after this. It's just sharks, Midge. Sharks. Fleshy body, sharks.
But they're not sharks, they're on land, and I can be quite kind and caring, and people do tend to tell me things. They like me a lot.
But you don't know how to speak their language, so I don't know about that.
I suppose.
We just don't want you to die, Midge, that's all.
Well, I don't have anything that would be able to help us understand them. So, maybe we just go in guns a-blazing?
As you would be finishing yours and they're finishing their little thing, one of them approaches and is going to cast a spell. If any of you want to make an Arcana check to try and identify it, you are welcome to.
I definitely will. No. Natural 19, which is
Okay.
what it is, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 13, so.
Cool. Yeah, Nori, you see it, and it's a spell that you would know. Like, you would know how to cast a spell. This shark person is offering to cast tongues on one of you. Which would allow you to speak all languages. Well, it would allow you to understand any spoken language you hear. So, and then whenever you speak, people know what you're saying.
I would again still look at Cass and be like, they're trying to talk to us. You go forward and let them cast the spell on me. And Nori will just have her 2 thumbs up and be like, yeah.
Cass just shakes his head, like fine. and walks forward, and as he does, just sort of casts mage armor on himself, just preemptively, in case.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you cast mage armor on yourself, and this priestess puts a hand on you and casts tongues, and you are able to speak and be understood by all and understand what they're saying. When it's done, you hear her talking in like a very like growly voice, and she's like, "We are sent by the Madrid of the Dark Seas to make sure nobody interferes with our shrine. If you have no business, we have nothing to do to you."
Madrid of the Dark Seas. So you're talking, I would assume, from the Sunken Grove.
Yes.
And you say they don't want to interfere with this shrine, which, sure, but is this his shrine or is his shrine over there?
They should both be a shrine to his homage, but this one has been usurped.
Usurped as in how exactly?
Long ago, people stole it to make a dedication to a much kinder sea.
Ah, understood. So...
And also, if you want to make a history or... If you want to make some sort of check about this, you can fact check them with, not insight, but something more like history remembering.
Yeah, I'll do more of like a history check on it specific.
Cool.
So... A 12.
Yeah, on a 12, it would still be enough for you to remember. That's factually incorrect. Both of these shrines have not been claimed because the Madrid trying to take them is trapped in between a state of life and death on both ends. Like, they can say that someone's trying to steal their shrine, but the thing the shrine's dedicated to, you're the only one you know of that's communicated with it, like, on both ends.
And sort of knowing this, Cass just look back up to them and be like, so, have you guys talked to your Madrid deity recently? Or is this just something you guys are assuming?
No, they carry voices to us on the dark tides and tell us that someone will try to awaken their brethren and remove them from the world, and we must not allow that to happen.
Interesting. And with that, I'm going to look back to the group just with a slightly concerned look, and I'll pull out the lantern that at this point I'm assuming is pulsing relatively frequently at this point, and be like, is this your god? Question mark.
It's not their god, but you would see, especially with how much you've made the flame lean towards that like light blue color, she seems repulsed as soon, like as you bring it out, like the energy pulse is going off, she like hisses and backs away from it, and you have a feeling that she's gonna take a second to say some things, and then might want to cause violence unless you can de-escalate the situation.
I'm going to let her recoil slightly, and can you give me a quick breakdown of how, like, what you said they're circling the shrine, like how far apart is everybody?
The shrine itself is like a 10-foot exterior thing. So there's just like 20 of them circling that. So like every 5 feet for like a whole ring.
So it's a 10-foot radius around the circle?
If that's how math works, probably like 20 foot, because they're not like right.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, that sounds more reasonable, just space wise.
Yeah.
And also makes it much more inefficient. So that's fine. I'm going to let her recoil really quick and just shoot a quick glance back to Frog specifically, and like just scratch my head really quick.
Mhm.
And then look back to the woman who's repulsed by the lighter color of the blue flame.
Cool. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh boy.
I'm in danger.
A 8.
An 8. Okay. That is not enough. You see, as Cass looks back to you to try and do something, another spell is sent off, and he is frozen in place. And 2 guards are going to come up and try and take the lantern off of him.
Well, that's lovely.
Nora, you notice this as well. It's just
Okay.
Frog is the one making direct eye contact with Cass.
Nori will then shout out, "Oh, no. Having only partially realized the importance of the lantern to Cass, correct? Like, we don't fully know the extent, but can tell that it's important. And I am going to cast Moonbeam.
So you do a moonbeam, which signals to the brothers and the pirates who were gonna wait this out to see what happened, that it is time for a fight. And Seph and Alto go, well, okay, I guess it's time. And Midge and Dolly are like, oh, it's been a while since we've gotten to fight on land. Let's see how it goes. And everyone's gonna roll initiative.
I'm assuming, even though I am, in theory, stunned.
Yeah, because you have the chance to break it on your turn, if someone doesn't break it for you beforehand.
Good question. Would I know that I can or cannot use silent speech to try to communicate with Cass while he is frozen?
I don't think you would know, because canonically Frog doesn't really know how it works, but you are welcome to try it.
Okay. I would try to communicate with Cass and be like, what did they say? Or like,
And then Cass, you are paralyzed, which means you can't talk, but you can think. I think. No, the creature is incapacitated, so can't move or speak. So yeah, you wouldn't get a message back.
But even if it's a thought?
I in theory, like, I'm knocked out momentarily.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird thing with incapacitated where it's like, it makes no sense that like you can't be like screaming internally.
right.
But technically, you can't, like, because stunned is like, you're fine, just can't move. Paralyzed is you're in a bad spot.
Right.
19.
16.
22.
Okay. I believe you. All of the enemies rolled like shit, and all of your friends rolled like shit. So you all get to do the first round. Alright. So, in our initiative, we're going to have Cass, followed by Nori, followed by Frog, followed by the Sahuagin Priestess, followed by Dolly, then the brothers, then Midge, then all of the 8 warriors. Midge and the warriors both rolled a 2 for their initiative. So Cass, you're up first. At the end of your turn, you get to repeat the whiz save, so that's really all you can do, but it is still the same DC, which is only 12.
Okay.
So you just need a 13 on the die.
I rolled a 13.
Perfect. So, and before that, though, Nora, you did cast Moonbeam. So let's resolve that. Where were you centering it?
Can I potentially get one of the guards that's going to grab Cass's lantern and the priestess in that circle without hitting Cass?
Yeah, it's a 5-foot radius. You could hit, like, the 2 of them. Like, if you get, like, the guard in the back and the priestess in the front, you can do that.
Yes. So I
Okay.
will do that. And then they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep. Or take a bunch of damage. You can tell they don't look very constitutional. One's a 5 for a 6, and one's a 4 for a 5. Which I know
Okay.
are below your spell save.
Yes. And I am casting this at 3rd level. Thanks. 23, and it's just 23 flat. I don't add anything else to it.
Just 23.
Okay. All right. Take 23
guard-
points of damage.
dies. The priestess does not. So what's it look like as your radiant beam of light just dissolves a Sahuagin?
As this guard is going to try and take the lantern off of Cass, Nori will like throw out her hand and say, "Don't you think about it, you mother!" And then the beam will just go where the guard is, and he will just evaporate, with then the priestess getting some damage as well.
Okay. Yeah. Very fun. Then that starts the initiative with her screaming, "They're violent! We must get rid of them!" And then, Cass, you start your turn. You break your thing, which is all you can do on your turn, but you are no longer stunned, so you would have your reactions and stuff back to use if you have anything. Nori, it then goes to your turn. So, it's back around to you.
So, for now, I will go ahead and take my action to move the beam.
Okay.
How far back is from where the priestess is to like the first curvature of the rest of the guards?
They're like 30 feet back. Because Cass and the priestess kind of met in the middle.
Okay, well, I'll try and take out some of these other soldiers or guards.
Sure. Yeah,
so I will move it however far
two
back I can. Two of them?
Yep, because it's only a 5-foot radius. So, like, if they were in, like, a cube, you could hit 4, but when they're just in a line, you can only hit 2. But let's see what they do.
Okay. Can I, secondarily, just, like, not flanking-wise to us, but, in line with where, like, the group of us is, so in theory, maybe some of the other guards would have to walk through it in order to get past it. I realize that that's probably not going to happen, but...
Yeah, no, it's an open sandbar, so that's not going to happen, but you can leave it like that if they try to retreat to the shrine, they'd have to run into it.
Sure, I'll do that. That's a better way to do it.
Closer to, like, the opening of the shrine, then.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you take out, what's your spell save? Because one
16.
got a nat 1. Okay, yeah, and the other one got a 13 for a 14. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
You don't even need to roll well to kill these guys.
18.
Yep. They are not dead, but they are very hurt.
Okay. And then with my bonus, that is going to be my spiritual weapon. I will go ahead and attack the priestess then.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
19 plus something, so...
Yeah, it doesn't, 19 plus, you're hitting her.
Okay, plus my spellcasting modifier... Yep. Okay. 12 points of damage.
Okay. She's looking bad. Really, really bad. Frog, you're up.
To start, Frog is going to take a half a second to react to Frog King still being on her shoulder and be like, "You want to get in the backpack or what?" and see if he...
No, this is very exciting. I think I can get involved into a lot of good things.
I'm sure you can. And after making sure he's all right, she's going to how far, what's the like distance between us and the sharks?
The sharks that are in the water or the Sahuagin surrounding the shrine?
Shrine.
Like 60 feet. If we're meeting
60.
halfway and everything. Yeah. Way.
Including the one that was just talking to us?
Yeah, because she moved into the middle with Cass. Like, if you move up 12 feet, she's only like 15 feet away from you.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, that ruined my plans. Okay. Um, I guess I will bardically inspire Cass.
Okay. And what's your bardic inspiration die?
1d6.
Okay. So as a bonus action, you give Cass a bardic, and then?
Yes. And then I will just move up closer as far as I can. So are we saying 12 feet? I shall firebolt.
The priestess or one of the like guys in the back?
The priestess probably.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
Okay, that's gonna be a 18.
Yep, that hits.
Yay! Okay, 1d10 fire damage. That's 6 damage.
Perfect. Yeah, she went from like, and I think you see that makes it extra bad for her because these people are very amphibious, and so you hitting her with fire, steam starts looking, and it's kind of like how when like you leave seaweed in the sun and it like dries out. She's starting to get like that as her skin. It's getting very like pale and shriveled and wrinkly and paper thin. And then on your turn, Archimedes takes his and goes, "I can finish this," and is going to use his jump to just leap 20 feet in the air off your shoulder, which will get him pretty far, but he doesn't need to go that far because you're only like 15 feet from the priestess and is going to try and just land on her, like bite her head type thing.
Lovely.
Archimedes has a +3 to his bite. He got a 16, so Archimedes gets a 19 for his bite, and even the base damage is enough to take her out. So,
Oh my god.
Frog, please describe to me what it looks like as Archimedes bites this priest's head and knocks her dead.
I imagine the jump we're all like watching in slow-mo as he just jumps and lands. Teeth. Do frogs have teeth?
No.
I don't think so. Lips first on this lady, and she just falls over as she is bitten. This is insane. I hate it.
Yeah, so after Archimedes gums this lady's head, it would have been her turn, but she is gone now, which brings us to Dolly. Dolly looks and goes, I can get over there quite fast, but I'm not good at lots of people at once. So if someone wants to do a bit of magic about the whole 17 or so of them left, that would be a good thing to do. And then runs in. She does not seem to be affected by the difficult terrain of the sand. She seems to have some sort of proficiency in running on sand, and makes it, with her bonus action dash, she can get all the way, closing the 60 feet to the people on the other side, but can again only attack one of them.
Can I shout to her and tell her to pick me up on her way?
You can. She wouldn't attack, she'd bring you closer.
So like I'll shout and be like, grab me as you're moving, and if she wants to or not.
Yeah. She'll be like, sure, why not? And will grab you. It means that she can't make it all the way there, but now you're both 60 feet away from her. Not from her, but from the like shrine. And you're moved up. She doesn't stab anyone, but you're moved up. Nice. After that is the brothers, who are not proficient in running on sand. So they can only move 15 feet forward, and don't have any sort of ranged weapons. But actually, no, they do have a ranged weapon. But you see, first, Alto will take out a longbow and fire it at one of the Sahuagin. And does a good job. He hit. Yeah, that Sahuagin is dead. One of the ones like on the far side gets knocked out as he fires the longbow, and then you see like magically in a blink of an eye, Seph appear 30 feet ahead of Alto. And so even though Alto's only 15 feet, Seph is 45 feet away and only 15 feet from the Sahuagins. Which brings us to Midge. Midge is going to go, see, if I had gone up, maybe this all could have been prevented, and is going to try and run. Also a halfling, also can't run on sand, makes it 12 feet in, but does have a crossbow, and is going to try and aim her crossbow at one of the ones currently stuck in Nori's moonbeam. She doesn't. She got an 8, but that only brings her to an 11, and goes, Oh, maybe you had a point about this. I'll get them next time. And on that next time, all of the Sahuagin close in. You see the remaining. There are 18 of them remaining, 16 of whom are unharmed, and 17 of whom are unharmed, and one of whom has been hurt a lot by Nori. And they are going to close in. The only people in distance that they can get to right now are Frog and Dolly. They can't all surround each of you because there's just literally not enough space. So half of them are going to take their dash, some of them towards Seph, and then some of them towards where Cass and... just Cass are, because Nori, you haven't moved up. So first we're going to start with Frog. You'll get 5 attacks against you. Let's see how many hit. What's your armor class?
12.
12. Okay, perfect. Okay. Of the 5 that run up to you, not all of them are able to make attack. Like there's just too many of them trying to like get around you. Very much like you're in the middle of like a frenzy, and they're all trying to get at you. But you are hit by a couple of claws and a couple of spears as they do it, and so you will take 19 points of damage from this little frenzy as they are all just trying to, like, with their teeth and their claws and their spears, just stab, pierce, rip. How's Frog feeling about that?
I mean, she's not happy about it, but she's not too upset. It's okay.
Cool. And then the same thing will happen for Dolly. Dolly's a lot harder to hit.
That's good.
Cool. Dolly gets hit for 10 points of damage. Cool. And then the rest of them are taking their action to get up to Cass, but can't do anything about it. So Cass, you will have 5 of them in your vicinity, and then there are 5 around Frog, 5 around Dolly, and then 2 that are just kind of like waiting to see where they need to go. But we bring it back around to you, and remember you have a D6 for a Bardic if you want to use it for anything.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I have 5 around me. How far ahead are Dolly and Frog from me?
They are 30 feet in front of you.
30 feet in front. Okay, so I'm assuming I have like 2 in front of me, 1 on each side, 1 behind me. That's the spread for the 5, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. I'm going to regaining sort of consciousness, or however you want to word that. I snap back into it to literally see Archimedes jump down on this woman's head and end her life. So I am shooketh as I awake. But as soon as I wake up, sort of seeing that I'm surrounded, I will cast... Is there anyone else around me, actually, at this exact point? I don't think so. Okay.
Yeah, everyone's either in front of or behind you.
Okay. Then I will cast 3rd level Shatter on myself. Okay. So everyone within my vicinity needs to make a Constitution saving throw with the score of 16.
2 failures, 3 successes.
So I rolled a 17.
Okay.
So yeah, I was about to say, I was like, this is gonna be real bad, real quick, potentially, but it's fine. So okay, it does 4d8 damage to those that failed, 2d8 damage to those that succeeded.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, plus a d8 for the Bardic, right?
A d6.
D6, sorry, a d6. So we'll figure that out in a second. These are that's so for the ones that saved, it is so it's 15 for the ones that saved.
Okay.
And for the ones that didn't save, it is 7, 8, 1, and it's 4 because it's 3 plus 1, right? 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. Better at 3rd. So 8, 7, 16. 16 plus 6, 22 for those that didn't save.
Okay. So the 2 that didn't save are just obliterated. They're gone.
Okay.
And then the 3 that did save are looking bad.
Okay. I also take the 15 points. So that's not great, but could be worse. With that, so which 3 are still alive? In front or behind?
We'll say the ones behind you. Makes most sense that like the ones in the front would be the ones you try and explode the most. Yeah.
No, that's fair. So then I will turn. I'll turn around and face them, and I'll sort of end it there, just sort of acknowledging that, okay, they're still alive behind me.
Cool. Sounds good. Nori, that goes to you.
Okay. First, with my spiritual weapon, I will attack one of the shark people that are near Cass. That is a 15 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
10 damage.
Cool. It is dead.
And then with my moonbeam, can I move it towards Frog to get into of the shark people over there?
Yeah, you would see that the choice Nori has to make is the ones around Frog and Dolly are both perfectly set up. You could hit all of them if it was on Frog or Dolly.
Oh, man.
You could, like, be less effective and hit the sides, but if you wanted to do most effectiveness, it would be centering it right on Frog or right on Dolly and hitting everyone around them.
Would I be able to shout a question after I chose? Or does my question...
Talking is free.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dolly, can I hurt you to help the rest of...
I'd like to see you try.
Okay, so I will then put the moonbeam on Dolly, making sure that I don't hit Frog. Okay.
Yeah, Dolly fully not thinking that Moonbeam is gonna be what you're doing. Like, she's thinking, oh, like, you'll just do some sort of safety, that everyone's gonna make a con save. What's your spell save still? 16, right?
Yeah.
4 failures, so only one of them does well, and Dolly has... Dolly fails. So Dolly will take the full damage, but then all but one of the Sahuagin will also take the full damage.
Ooh, 3 9s. So 27 points of damage.
3 of them are obliterated. And 1, so 20, you said what, 29?
27.
27, which still halved is 14. Yeah, we'll say 14. And is looking bad. Is looking really bad. Not great. Cool. And Dolly... taking 10. Dolly calls back. Ah, that was a lot more than I thought it would be. I am still fine. It's great. And Dolly, Frog, you can see from your vantage, Dolly's not looking good. That took out a lot more than Dolly was prepared for it to take out, but it's fine. Because it's your turn.
Okay. So looking around me, who do I see any that are like in clumps of sharks?
So the ones that you can see are, there's 5 surrounding you.
Okay.
Then there's 1 in front of Dolly, 2 on either side of Cass, 1 behind you where, like how Seph jumped forward, 1's met with him, and then 1 on the other side of where that is with nobody but heading towards Cass.
Okay. So I'd like to angle myself and take steps if needed.
You are surrounded by 5. You can't move. Like, they're harshing down on you.
Okay. So I want to use Burning Hands.
Okay.
So can we say I can hit 2 of them maybe if I, like, try to back up into another one? I don't know.
Yeah, or even if like you like lean back because they're taller than you.
Yeah,
Like, if you,
that
like,
was the goal.
lean back. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Then I
Yeah.
will. Yeah.
and it's a
hit
15-foot cone, right?
Yeah.
You can hit 3 of them.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So I will like lean down and maybe go from a lower angle to try to hit 3 of them. So it's
Okay.
going to be dex save of 15.
And there is one around you that is hurt. Are you leaving them for later? Or are you hoping to get the hurt
Yeah.
one in there? Okay,
Nope,
so you're
get
going for
that
3
one.
healthy ones. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
One becomes a dex save, correct?
Yes. 15.
Cool. That's a 10, a 5, and a 12. None of them succeed.
Okay. And I will roll mine. Oh, by the way, I'm casting at 3rd level.
Okay, cool.
22.
Yep, that erases 3 of them. Cool. What's it look like as you incinerate 3 shark people that are trying to defend their god's home?
RIP for them. I will incinerate them, and then because I was like leaning back and crouching down to incinerate them, and then I will hop up, and I'm sure this will provoke an opportunity attack, but step forward, like
you,
past.
Okay, so you are trying to like leave their area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be 2 opportunity attacks.
Yeah, I figured.
One's a nat 1.
Okay,
and one's
that's
a
good.
nat 20. So,
Okay, that's not so good.
yeah, 1 less misses, 1 not at all misses. And I think it makes more sense for them to do a spear thing than anything else. Like, I don't think they're going to try and bite you or try and claw you, so we'll do the spear one. Which will be... We're singing our songs. 10, 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else you want to do with your turn? Any bonus actions you want to use?
No.
Okay, cool. The priestess is lying in Archimedes' mouth, so it is Archimedes' turn. He's gonna try and just bite one of the ones around you, Cass. He doesn't need to run much. They're too big for him to swallow, which is the other thing he knows how to do well. So he's just gonna try and bite one of them. And he does not. When he's not falling from the sky, it's much harder for him to get an aerial bite attack on these shark people, on these Sahuagin. And he is not doing that. So it goes around to Dolly. Dolly has 1 person in front of her, and that is her favorite fighting stance. Dolly, with a very quick swipe of her sword, which you would all remember is named Tilly, takes this one out, and then will dash over to the one going for Cass and is going to intercede so that it doesn't get to you. Then Seph will take a swing on the one in front of him and hits, doing not enough damage to down it, but it is hurt. Alto will run up now that they're reunited and is going to take his other attack on it. Nice. Okay. And then that leaves Midge, who is going to run to the ones attacking Cass, and she's gonna try and stab one. Mr. Cass, I'm gonna keep you safe. It'll all be good. Okay, Midge. She does it. Just with like a short sword, a halfling short sword, she like stabs up and hits one of the Sahuagin that are surrounding you. They've taken no damage, so it's gonna be really hard for Midge to down one. But Midge does get to apply her sneak attack to this, so she might be able to. She won't. But she does a healthy amount of damage. Like, from the last time y'all saw Midge to now, Midge just, like, almost took out a guy. That's back around you, Cass.
Really quick, wouldn't everyone around me have taken some damage? Or are these 2 new ones?
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, all of the ones around you would have taken some damage. I just forgot to mark it. So Midge finishes it off. Yeah. Midge just runs up to a half-injured guy and is like, I'll protect you, Mr. Cass. And just like up through the back of the spine and out like the front of like the mouth. Just downs a guy.
I'm just imagining it was from the back and just like blood is like disintegrate on me as I'm looking at this person just get brutally murdered.
100%. This is like the same Midge that suggested, at this point, months ago, you all cut up a body and hide it in barrels to make it harder to find. But now she knows what she's doing. Yeah. What's up, Cass?
Cash just sort of okay. So just to clarify, Midge took out one. Dolly got to the other one, but didn't kill him.
No, Dolly was able to intercede, but couldn't do anything about it. So you've got one next to you who's hurt, and then you've got one that Dolly has about like 15 feet away, two on Frog in front of you, and one with the brothers 15 to the side.
Okay. Knowing that Dolly's sort of injured after seeing just a beam of light come and just eradicate everything around her, Cass is just going to sort of like look back at the one following her and the one in front of him, and Cass will use Eldritch Blast and aim one at each, trying to dispatch both of them real quick.
Go for it.
So first one is a 14.
Cool, that'll hit. Is that yours or Dolly's?
We'll do mine first.
Okay.
Since it's right in front of me, I figured that makes most sense. And that one does 12 damage.
Perfect. It drops to the ground.
Okay. And the other one is a 17 to hit.
Also hits.
You know what? I'll use the Bardic Inspiration just because why not at this point? Because it's running out.
Sure.
So that is 23 to hit. And that one does 6 damage.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do a lot, but it's enough. It's effective.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then seeing that, knowing that Seph and Alto are fine, not concerned about that, I'm just going to use all distance I have left to start making my way to Frog.
Oh, yep, it'll be half movement unless you have a
Nope.
way to not be difficult. Yeah, so you can make it 15 feet towards Frog, so she's 15 feet away from you.
All right.
Cool. Nori, you have still not moved. You are still at the back of the pack. What are you up to? Your moonbeam is currently there, but it's doing nothing because nobody is in it. The closest, if you wanted to just move your moonbeam, you could center it on Frog and take out two others, or you could do something else.
Can I at least move my moonbeam off of Dolly? So
Dolly, Dolly has moved. You're like nobody is in your beam right now. It's entirely empty.
Gotcha. Okay, so I can't move it at all, so that way it doesn't hit any of my allies.
You can take those two out without hitting Frog.
Yes, I will hit those two.
Perfect. Their con saves are bad. Go ahead and roll your 3d10s. I forgot to move you, Frog. That was my problem.
16.
Yep. The one you had previously hit is dead. Far gone. Evaporated into moonlight. The other one, however, is hanging on. Not well, but is hanging on.
And then with my bonus action, can I move my spiritual weapon anywhere that can attack one of the other ones?
From where it was at, the one with Dolly, you could hit.
Okay, I will roll to attack that one. And the base number
22.
is 18.
Yeah,
22.
that is, even without your modifier, that's enough to hit. And then go ahead and do your damage.
11.
Nice. It's not dead, but it's not looking good. You
And then I'm also shout out to Dolly. I'm so sorry!
If you were sorry, you would probably have sent me a little heal, but that's okay. We can get to that when this is over. Frog, it's your turn.
So there's just the one by me, right?
Yep, there's the one 12 feet behind you. From where you're at, there's also one, like, 10 feet to your south for Seph and Alto, and then there's one, like, a whole distance away that Dolly's fighting.
Okay. Then I will use Firebolt on the one that's closest to me.
Okay.
The 17 hit.
Yes, the 17 does hit.
Okay. And that will be 8 Fire damage.
Nice. What does it look like as you erase your last enemy?
Frog will throw the flame at it, and when it falls down and dies, she will be extremely happy because she is also not doing so hot and is glad to have them out of her area.
That makes a lot of sense. Any bonus action stuff you want to do?
No.
Cool. You are done. Dolly is up next. Dolly is irrelevant. You all know that one-on-one fighting is Dolly's jam. And she is continuing to show why that is what she is known for. As with, like, Midge did good stabbing a sword through a guy and putting it through the other side, but Midge put effort into it. Dolly, with a bare flick of her wrist, just with her saber cuts this guy's head off and then turns to see where she needs to go next and is going to start making her way towards the last one with the brothers. She can't make it all the way, but she makes it pretty close. And then the brothers are up next. They get their attacks. Ooh. They both miss. They're going to burn one of their things to attack again, and that one hits. So you see Seph miss, Alto miss. They're both, like, floundering on the sand because they're used to running on hard, compact ground. They are not used to sinking. But after that, it's kind of like Seph jumps off of Alto and gets one swing in and stabs his sword through the guy, dropping him to the ground. Cass, you would see your lantern pulsing with a lot of light. And you would also see that all the bodies are on the ground. And then start, like, pulsing with your lantern, and also spectral images start pulsing around the shrine. Kind of looks like they're trying to revive themselves, or something is trying to revive them all to go back to defending.
Everyone else seeing that, right? Like ghost shark people.
You'd be seeing it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Cass, not knowing what to do, he's gonna start running towards the shrine and like pull his lantern out and like just like as he's running, like look at it and see if he can like try to talk to his patron, preferably the lighter blue one, but understanding that it's not going to go either way. Does he get anything from trying this?
Yeah, make me an Arcana check using your Charisma modifier. At advantage, because you're trying to talk to the blue one.
Arcana check, Wisdom modifier.
Well,
Charisma modifier.
Oh, Charisma.
While Cass is doing that, can we attempt to tell if there's a source of where this like magic is radiating from the shrine, or is that not what's happening at all?
You don't feel like the shrine is. You see like that, like you've seen over time Cass's lantern get less dark blue. It seems like these are pulsing with that same dark blue energy that's missing from his lantern, as if it's trying to like pull them back to where they belong.
Okay.
19.
Yeah, on a 19, you are able to get through to it. Like, it's not like you can have a full conversation, but what do you want to learn?
I'm not even going to ask anything intense, just, can I trust you? Is the sole message I'm sending to this patron.
Yeah, and you feel back like, very much like being hit by a wave of the ocean, a very overwhelming, powerful yes.
Okay, I'm going to glance back at Nori and Frog and just be like, are you guys fine with this? Just, do I get anything from either of you?
Nori's gonna give Cass a reassuring, totally, yeah, but then like slowly follow behind him.
Frog is gonna continue just kind of standing there and staring because she's not doing so hot, and this seems weird and suspicious.
All right. One is good enough for Cass. He's going to keep running towards that, and as he gets to the shrine, is there anything like screaming out to him?
first we're gonna roll a d4, and on a 1, some lair action bullshit will happen. It's a 2. You see, like, all of the things start to solidify a lot more as you get closer, but as you get up, you do see that there's, like, a sconce where a flame should be, but is extinguished and nothing is there.
Okay. So we're getting there. I'm just going to get as close as possible, and if, as weird as this sounds, if I take my lantern and turn it like on its side, does the flame pour out into the sconce?
It does. It never leaves your lantern, but only that light blue flame pours out, and you see the entire shrine light up as though it's on fire and dispels any of that dark blue magic around it. There's not a door that opens per se, but you feel like you're able to go inside. You feel like whatever seal here is broken, you would just need to know how to get in. But for now, and that's if you chose to go in, but at least if nothing else, it seems like that dark power does not have control of this shrine or is not able to set place around here. You feel like you've restored peace to the land for a bit.
Okay. And just sort of seeing them just gonna like sort of slump against it and just have everyone just take a break and slowly approach.
Cool. What's everyone else doing as I see Cass pour liquid fire onto a stone, and then the whole thing lights up in flame for a brief moment and gets rid of some reviving spirits?
Frog is going to continue staring, and then just kind of slowly let her jaw drop a little bit and be like, what is going on here? Because she hasn't like heard anything from Cass about this lantern that she's seeing and doesn't really know what's going on.
Nori would be slowly moving towards Cass and having a spiritual weapon move back closer to her and like have it like her silver pine cone just like tracing or eyeing, I guess, dead bodies that were starting to try and revive. But then when things seem to calm down, she will chill out and cast another spell when she has for Dolly and Frog.
Frog, your jaw drops. Nori, you, in suspicion, approach. Seph, in your head, Frog goes, was this an accident, or have we been planning to do this? You all do a lot of weird things, but, like, this isn't, like, talking to a frog weird. This is, like, that thing just caught on fire. And that's weird.
Frog responds and is like, I agree, this is weird. It is a new weird to me, so I also don't know what's going on here.
To clarify what, Cass?
Clarifying.
Huh?
When you say the whole shrine, am I just sitting on a shrine that's on fire right now?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt or anything, but, like, this whole, like, coral and sandstone and shell building is now alight with the same blue flame that's in your lantern. Doesn't give off any heat, doesn't do anything. It's just like a spectral spiritual fire on the entire 10-foot structure. And as far as anyone knew, this thing was a dormant relic that nobody actually believed did anything.
Okay. Seeing the concern and now understanding, oh, I see what their concern is radiating from. Cass is just gonna get up and walk out of the burning ritual center and just sort of like pat himself off, like he's not on fire, but just like make sure and sit down just outside of the flames. Like they're not emitting heat, but just a comfortable distance away in case it is warm for anybody else.
Mr. Cass, you did a good job catching it on fire. If that was your plan, good job. You did it.
Thank you, Midge. I don't think the word plan... I think the word plan is very over-exaggerated in this instance, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, whatever you did, the sharks don't seem to be coming back, and out in the sea, the sharks themselves are swimming away. So whatever you did must have been a good call.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that myself, but I guess we will have to wait and see. And as everyone's sort of resting, would Cass know with sandbars like this, can you dig at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anywhere that's lower in elevation than where we are? Is there any like divots, or is this really a nice smooth sandbar?
It's mostly smooth, but I think you'd get the feeling that if you were to dig anywhere, the shrine itself would be the soft. Like, that was this part. When you were walking, it wasn't hard to walk up. It was as you got closer, the sand became more difficult. So that's where, like, the squishiest and softest sand would be, is like the area you're currently sitting in or around it in that similar vein.
Okay, I mean, as people are approaching, then Cass is just going to start, like, find something, you know, like a branch, anything, and just start, like, digging holes to, like, bury these bodies. It's like, yeah, they weren't good, but no one deserves to just rot out in the open. So, just gonna start, like, trying to dig this out, like, and if anyone wants to help, we'll take it, but that'll probably be his focus for the next hour plus, just trying to get some of these bodies buried properly.
Yeah, the brothers will definitely help because they have the stamina for it. Midge will bury half of a body, and then Dolly will take over for her. The other two?
I will do a ritual spell, so that way I can give people some healing. So I just need 10.
What ritual spell are you casting?
Or I guess it's technically not ritual, but prayer of healing. Casting time is 10.
Okay, cool. And Frog?
Assuming that burying these bodies is going to take about an hour, Frog will sit back and take a short rest.
Yeah, you could contribute to burying and get the short rest, but if you were like, I need to lay down, that is also fine.
Yeah, Frog's just gonna lay down.
Okay, cool. Kate, what's your wisdom modifier? 5?
6. Oh, sorry, wisdom modifier?
Yeah. Cool. Everyone gets back 11 hit points and sets to work. I think you would notice as you're burying them, once the last one is in the ground, it kind of pulses like a light blue, the same shade as the shrine being on fire. Cass, it doesn't feel like you made an offering, but it seems like you set something at peace.
And with that, like, Cass is unless like someone is directly questioning Cass, I'm assuming we're all going to want to sit for a hot second. Cass is going to sit down as well and probably pass out for a good 20-30 minutes.
Yeah. That feels justified and correct.
Nori is gonna take out her notebook in this time and flip to the note pages. Write notes about something to do with patron equals burning on fire but no harm ? And just write some commentary about the past couple days.
Yeah. So you're doing that. Cass, in your dream, as you're laying there, just see the shrine that is burning next to you, like in a dream state, and you just see a vision of yourself walking through a wall that doesn't, like, it's a wall, there's no door or anything, but it seems to be telling you if you wanted to somehow get inside, all you have to do is find the entrance, like, just by being aware it exists. And it comes with that same calm energy you had when you asked, "Can I trust you?" You don't feel like the other one is trying to mislead you, because you did. I think you would have like expelled it from this island.
Gotcha.
What are the other two doing as Cass sleeps?
I will literally be note-taking the entire time.
Okay.
Frog will be resting mostly, but also probably talking with Frog King and being like, "Whoa, that was Amazing. How did you do that? And also, how does your bite work when you have no teeth? Do you just like, how do you do it?
Oh, well, have you ever been so uncomfortable that it made you feel really bad?
Yes.
Oh, when I put my gums around people, it makes them feel bad inside. And that makes them hurt.
Ah, I see. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
But I can do it without hurting you. Would you like to feel it?
Sure.
And you just like what would you put out? Your arm, your hand?
Yeah, arm probably.
And like very slowly he just kind of like puts a very like dry for a frog. You'd be expecting it to be wet, but like very dry, but like very muscular set of lips around, and then like you can feel his tongue like jab at you, and it's just like a tongue stuck to you as your hand is like nommed on with no strength to eat, but just the strength of like bloop.
That's good. Frog will be like, okay, I think I see what you mean, and try to like pull her arm away.
Yeah, when you pull, he doesn't
Yeah.
resist. It's the first time I've had to use it on people. Normally, I use it on flies, and they're a lot easier to take down. But I thought, I can't swallow any of these people. They are far too big. But maybe I can nom them and make them feel weird. And it worked! And then it didn't work, but it worked the first time. And maybe it's because I was falling from the sky, and I was like, whoa, and landed, so maybe it could have been the force of the landing, but I think it was that I was an effective frog.
You are a very effective frog.
Midge is sitting infatuated with Frog King. The brothers are sitting under the shade of a tree, like a palm tree, just like, fuck this. Like, not that they have no ill will against you, but they don't like the sand. They've learned they don't really like being around the water, and they were like the most ineffective they have ever been. So they are not down in terms of needing to heal themselves up, but they're down in terms of, we did a bad, and it's the first time we've done a bad in a while, so they've retreated a bit to just kind of like chill.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And half an hour later, Cass wakes up.
So, waking up from that dream, just to rehash, it's the gist of what he received in his vision, dream, whatever it was, was the door exists as long as Cass acknowledges and wants it to be there type situation, yeah?
That's what you would assume, yeah.
Okay. Knowing that, without really saying much, Cass is going to just sort of get up very slowly and just walk back towards the shrine and almost act like it's not there, and like, can he just like walk into it?
Yeah. Anyone watching, you watch Cass just like with a ripple of what seems like coral moving as though it was water with something dropped onto it, walk through a wall that ripples behind him, and he is gone into somewhere.
Also, just as soon as I go in, Cass is just gonna do like a complete 180 really quick, stick his head back out through like the water wall and be like, I'll be right back. And
Cool.
then go permanently.
So after you watch him go in, his head comes back out, he says, I'll be right back, and then it ripples once more. And when it's not rippling, it looks like it's solid stone, solid coral, all of it just solid here. But Cass, on the inside, you see a setting very similar to your lantern. Like, you don't have, like, the structure, you don't have, like, the bookshelves or anything, but that, like, wall that surrounds it that lets you look out into, like, the deeps of the ocean. Something like that, but instead of having, like, a really turbulent and aggressive surrounding, this is just very calm. It's like you're right under the surface of the shallows. There's, like, you can see fish, you can see, like, schools of corals, you can see just, like, a very calm setting, and you hear a voice. You don't see anything appearing, but you hear a voice call out to you and say, "You did a good job finding us. We cannot yet be rewarded, but you do deserve some sort of reward. I cannot give you a full source of power, but if you allow me to look into your adventure, I can try and give you something that might fit what you need."
Anything would be, and as Cass is saying this, he's just like, there's nothing here, so he's just talking to a room. Okay, Cass will just sort of be looking around, like sort of pacing the outside perimeter, and be like, anything is appreciated. And again, just for clarification, when you say we, are you referring to the two of you? Because from our interaction with the less than enthusiastic followers out there, it seems like someone else is trying to take these shrines. So can you explain exactly what is happening?
Well, there are two of us trying to be born into the same slot, and the Madrid of the Dark Seas is not against using tactics and deceit and to steal where I would be reborn at. And yes, we are still both with you, and you have been making the choice of who is stronger. And that is a choice you will continue to make until you choose to eliminate one of us permanently. I just hope in time you continue to make the right choice and do not call upon the dark, for while it might give you things of more benefit, it will certainly bring a darker world. But in the meantime, allow me a moment just to look through your time. And you, like, feel very much like time slow in the room. Not in, like, any sort of, like, time stop way, but just, like, this thing is manipulating it so that it can have all the time it needs to look. And you just see in the water around you, like, spectral images of, like, Nori and her parents saying, like, oh, we wish that, like, we knew what was going on, or we wish that our family was there. You see Frog as a child talking with her siblings about how, like, they wish their parents could be safe and that it's okay because they'll just have to make it work. You remember the conversation with Dion and Julian when he asked for you all to, like, say what you would wish for, and Julian just wished for things to go back to normal, and Julian wished for people to be able to see him for who he truly is and who he sees himself as. You see the brothers wish to not be stuck in their immortality anymore. And probably some of your own, which if you want to share with the ocean, you are free to, but that is your choice. And after a while, it gives you a little black pearl, similar to the one that you have as, like, your pearl of power. But this one, it says, "It seems your world is full of people that think that they can make it a better place if only a barrier or question is answered or removed. Give this to one you believe would be deserving, and their wish can be granted. Not in a full scale, but enough that it will solve the problem at hand."
Cass just sort of... So is it just, like, floating down from the room, realistically? Okay.
Not even floating, it just kind of materializes and floats midair. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool. Cass will say out loud, like, oh, that's pretty cool. And as this is happening, Cass, as he was going through the memories and, like, history of everything, Cass is going to be relatively open. Like, he's not going to hide anything, so if he's trying to delve into Cass's past, like, Cass is going to be open to that. And with that, Cass is just going to take the gift and just sort of reflect on it for a second, and then look back up and continue with, so what is it exactly I'm supposed to do? Like, I've been flying relatively blind here for a little bit, just doing what I inherently think is the right thing to do. And I believe that you're someone that's worth protecting and bringing more into this world. But what is it that I'm supposed to do? Like, we sort of stumbled upon this just from happenstance. So I'm not saying I need, like, a direct answer and, like, being told what to do, but it's like, I don't know what my purpose is with this lantern, with you being here. I don't know what exactly my purpose is in this world as it relates to our relationship.
Yes, and, well, don't doubt yourself, because you had the foresight to place the lantern in the water and could feel it calling. You've clearly been trying to do something, so don't doubt yourself on that strength, but I mean, it depends if you want to You could always help yourself and do whatever it is needing to call upon our power and keep it trapped in a state of neither good nor bad. That is something you could do and a choice many people would take. You could also go to the other shrine, the one over near the sunken keep, and destroy it, activate it, do something to either prevent worship or bring the dark madrid to light and then destroy it. Or there's something that I believe your companion out there, and you see Nori flash across the screen for a second, knows about a goddess who is trying to come back, and she has been doing a lot of fey magic to make sure people don't notice her or don't see her, but people are starting to believe in her once more, and if she gets enough believers, she can not only turn people immortal in the way that she thinks is best, but also steal enough magic from those of us who are trying to return to the world as well. So I suppose if you take that out, not only do you fix our little problem, but you could also probably save a lot more people. But that's a huge ask, and nobody would do that for their own will. Depends on how much you're willing to follow the light.
Sort of just listening at this point. So, just to be clear, the shrine in what I would assume is the Sunken Kingdom, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is for the darker half, so if I activate that, that will empower the other side.
You get the feeling that, like, if you activate it, then one of them will come out. But, like, you could bring back the light one, or you could bring back the dark one to kill it. But if you activate both, that was when they would come out, and you'd have to pick.
Gotcha. Good. Okay, that makes sense. Circling back really quick, did you say my companion's deity is trying to come back?
Not hers per se, but one of her kind.
Oh, one of her kind. Okay.
I think you would have, like, and then on the screen, not the screen, but, like, the windows even, you'd see flashes of, like, the stories Nori told you of Gemini, of the brothers with their pink haze, of the cleric's magic turning pink, even though it's supposed to be white for peace. That's the indication they'd give you.
I don't mean to be a burden, but I have one last question that I think maybe you would have some insight into. Our two friends that are traveling with us, if we deal, in quotes, with this other deity that is trying to be revived, what will happen to that?
There's like a long paused silence as it tries to figure out the answer to that. And then responds back with, depends on the nature of the situation. If it is a pact made, then whether or not their patron is there, the pact is theirs to stand. If it was something that was granted to them as, like, a means to continue on, there's a chance that when the Fae is gone, their connection will be severed and they will return to their lives prior, or they will go away with her.
Understood. And with that, Cass is just going to be playing with the new darker pearl that's in his hand, and just from touching it or from gleaming into it a little bit, is Cass able to determine exactly what it can do?
Yeah, you have the feeling that it is like an semblance of a genie's wish. So not even like your, like, I can cast like a spell of 6th level. If you give it to someone and they truly believe in something, it will give it to them.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I appreciate the help and foresight with this, and I'll continue doing what I think is right. If I need to commune with you in any sense, is there a way that I can reach you besides being here? Like, can my little pocket world do something similar to this? I'm not saying every time I go in there, but if something does come up, can I get a hold of you?
Yes, you can get a hold of me. You should be able to.
Okay. And, I mean, one last thing before I go. Do we need to protect this shrine? Like, I'm just sort of concerned because it's magically on fire, and there's a town just over there, and it could... I want to make sure this is preserved if it needs to.
When the shrine was built, there was not a town over there. I'll hide the flame. It's not as aesthetically pleasing, but I can keep it safe without the energy around it. We can keep it in just the sconce, and no one should be too afraid, and as long as the flame remains lit, no ill will come to the island, or the Crescent in itself.
Understood. Well, I mean, you know how to reach me if you ever need anything, but we will continue on our path, and if something were to come up, please just let us know. We can work to get it addressed as soon as possible. But so you said the outside of this room sort of just reflects the outside world as if it's just like a mirror, so you can see out from the shrine. Mm-hmm. So if I look to the northwest, mm-hmm. in that direction, in the far distance of the direction of where the Sunken Kingdom is does it look the same at this point, or is there like a storm brewing in that direction, or is everything okay still?
It's never really quite okay. And being from the West Coast, you would know that like that's just always a turbulent area. It doesn't look like it's gotten worse, but it's definitely not subsiding. It still looks like it's a very like currenty spot, still very frigid water, a lot of like it would just be a bad place to be, but it doesn't feel like it's gotten worse.
Okay. And Cass just sort of gonna keep tabs on that going forward.
Okay.
And he's gonna just sort of end this communion to a certain extent and leave the shrine, just put that extra pearl in his pocket. Like, sorry, not in his pocket, like, probably, actually we'll put it in his lantern, because I'm assuming the lantern's actually encased to where if he puts it in, he can't get out unless it's open.
Yep.
So Cass will put that in there for the time being, and then leave, just going back to the group.
Nice. And as you leave, that's where we'll wrap up for today. You all get to level up. You did a good thing. Hooray! You get to level up. But for the cast right now, that is where we'll end this episode of Help Action Needed. Thank you so much for playing. Audience, thank you for listening. If you would like to engage with us further, you are encouraged and welcomed, and we ask kindly of you, because it's so much fun whenever you do, to reach out to us either at our email, which is helpactionneeded@gmail.com, or on Instagram or Threads, both helpactionneeded. You could also find us on Twitch if you want to, for whatever reason. But you could also just rate, review, tell us you like the things here on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening, because that helps with stats and stuff, which we're not that invested in, but hey, it's cool when they go up. But yeah, that has been us. Thank you again for playing, thank you for listening, and as always, goodbye.